Welcome to Lawyers Who Care, the video show podcast that highlights attorneys who go above and beyond for their clients. And on each episode, we will meet a new lawyer, and they will share stories of when they went beyond legal counsel for the benefit of their client. My name is Andrew Samelin. I'm the principal of Samelin Wealth, a nationally recognized wealth management firm for lawyers, their firms, and their clients. And let's applaud Lawyers Who Care and learn from them. Today, my guest is Felicia Hunt. She is a partner in Hassett George, a Connecticut-based law firm, and Felicia practices family law and helps families in transition through mediation, collaborative divorce, or litigation. Welcome, Felicia.
Thank you so much, Andrew. I'm happy to be here.
Great. So tell us about what brought you to the law.
That is a good question. It actually did start academic for me, which is interesting. I was a philosophy major, and I really was in love with that study, which led me to a law-based class. And the more I pursued it, the more it aligned with my core and what interested me. And as I made my way to law school, I became really interested in child advocacy. So as I pursued that, I always had loved working with people, just that interfacing with real people, not necessarily corporations or paper, but people going through struggles or issues or whatever challenges they had to help them through. So I had that desire to work with people, coupled with the child advocacy, actually led me to family law. And the more I did it, the more I pursued it, the more reward and fulfillment I found with it. So it's just become more and more my focus and passion through time.
And the issue of child advocacy, what made that be a focus, and how does that integrate into your practice today, or does it not? It's just an evolution.
Well, in terms of who I represent, that has been part of the evolution, but I'm from a large family. I have 5 siblings. 2 of my siblings are adopted. So I had some interesting family dynamics growing up, and always with a child family focus. So I think that was part of the draw for me. I had that connection with an experience in my life. So that drew me towards families in those situations. And the child aspect of it is very present in family law. That's probably one of the most difficult things in family law is children, going through the transition of their parents, ending a marriage, ending a relationship. What does that look like? The children being the most important, being the priority, their best interest being the reigning standard overall in the legal world, let alone personally for my clients. So that's remained very much a focus in what I do every day.
And when we started, you mentioned you had a great client story. Do you want to share something with us?
Yes, I think it's good for people to know family law issues, whether it's the ending of a marriage, a custody issue, or both. It is a difficult process, and it's very personal. It's intimate. And I think that's why it's hard sometimes for people to ask the hard questions and face it. But I have a story that I think of a lot. This client, when I first met her, she was surprised to know that her marriage was ending. She was in a later season of life, definitely did not see it coming. She had an adult daughter, and it was very raw. It was very difficult. And to even just explain process to her, which some of that is, I can't make the rules. I just have to operate within the rules that we have and help my clients achieve optimal outcomes in that space. And even that was a challenge. But through time, which was not linear, it was up and down, which is part of what we talk about. She learned a lot on a financial level, on a level with herself, a new relationship with her daughter that evolved from this, and understanding a new relationship with her former spouse. And it was on the heels of COVID, which didn't make it easier for her, but she hadn't even been employed for years. So she had to transition into a workspace that she didn't need to. And again, at a later season in life, that was not easy for her to do. So the number of transformations that she went through, I can't count on one hand. And for a person to go through all of that during a legal process that they didn't want was really incredible. It wasn't easy. At the end of the day, though, She's unrecognizable. She's so happy. She's so fulfilled. She's doing things she didn't know she could do. And once in a while, she'll check in with me, and I smile. I'm just so happy for her to see her happier than she was before, which she didn't realize that until now. And so her maintaining contact with me over all of these years, I've seen it come full circle. That's always my hope, is that they actually don't call me again. But to hear the positive feedback from her later in time is really wonderful. And that's my goal and journey with every client. And with her, it involved, like I said, her adult daughter and finding support for her to do that. And so just, I think of that transformation, that's what everyone goes through. And to whatever degree, sometimes it's extreme like that. And sometimes it's in smaller doses, but ultimately it is a change. And I take that responsibility very seriously to get them through it, not just a legal process, but that change in their life.
Mm-hmm. How long was that whole process, would you estimate?
For her, it was probably about 8 to 9 months.
So was that after the end of the divorce process, or was the case, or was that inclusive of the whole process? Because 9 months for that much of a transformation is extremely fast. And by the way, for which you deserve an awful lot of credit. It sounds fast, doesn't it?
It does, actually. I didn't think about it that way until you just said it. And a lot of credit to her too, because we worked hard.
Sure.
But yes, I'm trying to recall, if I looked at the docket, it was less than a year, because that's the court's goal, is to have cases processed in less than a year. As an individual, though, it wasn't until, so perhaps that individual transformation, I was answering it as a legal process, was probably about 9 months, let's say. But as a person, at the end of that, she was unrecognizable from when I first met her. I mean, she was physically, emotionally not in a good place. And at the end of it, she was relieved. She was happy it was done. She could see her future. So she could see that hope, see that, excitement really for a new beginning. And then it was, and so maybe to your point, maybe it was another year or so before there's a particular job she landed. She couldn't believe her own self. And so that was a little time after, but enough for her to reach back out to me and say, look what I did, and it was really wonderful.
That's great. So again, my guest, Felicia Hunt, she is a partner at Hassett George. Felicia, so if people can get in touch with you, can you share your contact information?
Absolutely. So my email address is fhunt, as in Felicia Hunt, at hgesq.com. And my phone number is 860-651-1333. And my personal extension is 109.
Wonderful. By the way, this has been the Lawyers Who Care video show podcast that highlights attorneys who go above and beyond for their clients. And if you're an attorney or know one who does, feel free to reach out to us at 914-666-6600. Felicia, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me today.